When Jackie Robinson dumps Reynolds' fastball pitch into short left for a single, Reese scores.
St. Stephen, this year we have a special reason to celebrate 42. Our phenomenal pastor and First Lady are celebrating 42 years in ministry here at the Stephen. 42 years of leading, lifting, and loving.
I'm excited to see people feel the church, but something else excites me more, and that is not having people feel the church, but to see the church feel the people.
Yes, 42 looks great on our pastor. He wears it and also shares it with one of the greatest athletes and ambassadors for equality of our time, Mr. 42 himself, Jackie Robinson. 75 years ago this month, Robinson made history right here in Louisville when his Montreal Royals met the Louisville Colonels in the Minor League World Series. Montreal had never traveled so far past the Mason-Dixon line, where Jim Crow laws barred Jackie from staying in hotels. Combined with crowd hostility and not allowing black fans to attend the game, Louisville took an early lead in the series. But as our pastor says, all of that was just a setup for a comeback.
I've got to do with that kind of sportsmanship in America that would not turn thumbs down on fine character, high intelligence, and of great physical skills.
October of 1946, as Robinson led his team back to victory, marks the inauguration of a legendary legacy.
He is a credit to baseball.
And 75 years later, we celebrate a legendary ministry walking in the same legacy. A legacy of innovation with the courage to be the first to do something that's never been done.
Sparked by Robinson, the Dodgers win.
The entire team that gave leadership to the implementation of much-needed media through a black lens. And this is going to be transformative, and it's so desperately needed.
A legacy of excellence that inspires and motivates.
Very happy with the fact that I've joined a group that's going to work with kids. It's a clinic that we're going to have at Adelphi College.
Is the mental and spiritual blooming of students who are attending Simmons.
A legacy of commitment that connects and corrects.
I'm extremely proud and pleased to be here this afternoon, but must admit I'm going to be tremendously more pleased and more proud when I look at that third base coaching line one day and see a black face managing in baseball. Thank you very much.
But while he is the property of all people, let us never forget that he is the product of black people in their struggle to be free.
Church family, join us on October 24th as we celebrate the 42nd anniversary of Reverend Dr. Kevin W. Cosby, the true story of a legendary ministry. 42.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our headliner.
With your bad self, say it loud. I'm breaking up proud. Say it loud. I'm breaking up proud. Some people say we got a lot of malice. Some say a lot of nerve. I say we won't quit moving till we get what we deserve. We've been abused, we've been scorned, we've been treated bad, talked about, as sure as you born. And just as sure as it takes two eyes to make a pair, brother, we won't quit until we get our share. Say it loud, I'm breaking up proud. Say it loud, I'm breaking up proud. Come here, sister, help us in us. Ain't you hip now? Got that new breed, baby. Ain't no drag. Papa's got a brand new
He is known for horse racing, bluegrass, and bourbon. But all of these things pale in comparison to the greatest of all time.
I am the greatest.
When the champ passed in 2016, Louisville teamed up with the Ali family to ensure that the Prince of Parkland neighborhood had a send-off fitting for a king.
Right. And that's what he wanted. But you know, Crystal, when I walked in there, it was like somebody had extracted it right out of my head and put it in front of me. So from the very beginning, Muhammad wanted it to be a teaching experience, sort of a reflection of his life, of bringing people together, bridging the divides, showing that people from all walks of life, from all perspectives, philosophically, religious, political, whatever, could come together, and he would be sort of that uniting force, that glue that sort of held him.
I looked in the dictionary for the word fidelity, and it had two words: Lonnie Ali.
And it wasn't going to be some ordinary service. We knew that.
Setting the tone and kicking off the speakers was our very own pastor.
The first person you think of that came to our mind, of course, was Dr. Cosby. He had done Muhammad's mother's funeral and firmly planted in the west end of Louisville, in that community where Muhammad grew up. Who else would we have chosen? He was the one.
Now, please don't mishear me. I am not saying that Muhammad Ali is the property of black people. He is the property of all people.
I am so glad Dr. Cosby was the first speaker. I mean, because so that his message set the tone for the rest of that service.
But while he is the property of all people, let us never forget that he is the product of black people in their struggle to be free.
Exactly the message Muhammad would have
Before
wanted.
James Brown said, "I'm black and I'm proud," Muhammad Ali said, "I'm black and I'm pretty."
Could you point out any highlights from his message that just really resonated with you?
I'll try. Not get emotional.
Yeah.
He sort of took it from the beginning, you know, with Martin Luther King.
The King paused and said, "The greatest and the most profound effect that the civil rights struggle had was that it infused in the Negro something that the Negro needed all along."
Black people needing to understand that they were somebody. And then he sort of took it through history.
But something happened to the Depression generation and the World War II generation of African Americans. Jackie Robinson picked up his bat and hit a ball.
And how they overcame discrimination and racism and barriers that were thrown in their way for no reason, just because of the color of their skin. He said, but then there came this guy, you know, out of Louisville, Kentucky, from the West End,
who took the ethos of somebodyness to unheard of heights.
But it was so impactful what he said. He touched me in that he understood where Muhammad came from, where he went, and everything in between.
Before James Brown said, "I'm black and I'm proud," Muhammad Ali said, "I'm black and I'm pretty."
He touched me in that he understood where Muhammad came from, where he went, and everything in between. Men like him and Muhammad, we have to be their foundation. That wife, when you see marriages like that, to men like that, you know that she's his rock. She is his rock. And I pray that she is supported the way in which he is supported. And she's also taking care of that church as well. Happy 42nd anniversary, Pastor Cosby, and I know there are many, 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 many more years to come.